a mission to clear this valley. I made a bad call. My OIC said, hey, we need immediate reinforcements. So I decided, like, oh, well, I'm closest and I got a machine gun, so let's go. And so he was the acting ground force commander, and he's screaming fire into the radio, get your fucking ass out of the valley, like we're trying to call a fire mission. He said, I need a night to think about this. Come back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I'm going to let you know what my decision is.
God, that must have been a stressful night, man.
Well, that was the night I almost took my life. So we went down to Kandahar and started operating out of there, and on a mission to clear this valley. I made a bad call. We were clearing a valley. We locked down this valley. I was running a javelin crew, sniper crew, and a machine gun crew up on top of this valley. And we had an assault team that was pushing through the valley, clearing it. And they got into multiple ticks throughout the gunfights throughout the day. That culminated with this lasted all day. We inserted early in the morning, probably around 4 a.m.
How many of you?
This was a large operation. It was a joint operation with some other force. I don't know if I can.
That's fine.
Sure.
Like another group of folks.
Yeah.
So but there's like a lot of people there.
Yeah, okay. A lot of us. Probably 80.
Yeah.
Total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a very big operation. Okay. So I ran part of my a fire team of my platoon that had the javelin snipers and a machine gun, or machine gunner. And as the day wore on, as they were pushing through the valley, they got into a big gunfight. We knew we had a hard extract. We knew they had told us, hey, man, helicopter flow across Afghanistan. If you guys aren't out by this hard time, we don't have helicopters to come get you.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are going to be stuck. So we had already started to push everybody back to the south to relink up, but I was acting. I was one of the only ones, or our team was one of the only ones that had comms. Just because of the terrain, this ridgeline we were on was probably 2,000 feet above the valley floor.
Oh wow!
So the angles it worked out that where I was gave me the best comm. So I was relaying with the guys on the ground back to our ground force commander, and they got into another big tick, and one of our Afghans was hit. We had Afghan force also.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
So I had already sent back all our guys. It was just me and our machine gunner that were sitting on this ridgeline when they got into this gunfight. And my OIC said, hey, we need immediate reinforcements. So I decided, like, oh, well, I'm closest. I got a machine gun, so let's go. Probably not the best decision, and this is where it became a collision point. So I called back and said I was going to do that. Well, who happened to be working with the ground force commander? My platoon chief, that we did not get along. And he was like, no, you're not. You're not going in that valley. And this is where ego and professionalism got in my way. Because instead of going, well, why? Let's discuss this. I was like, screw you. You're not the boss of me.
Oh.
I'm going to make this call. And really, it was driven because I'd yet to be in a gunfight, not directly, periphery. And so this was driven by, hey, man, I have an opportunity to be the hero here. Like, I can go down and save these guys. I got a machine gun. We're going to go down and lay down some fire and get in this fight.
Yeah.
And I did. I said, hey, man, I'm going. Like, these guys need help. So we dropped in, which was such a stupid decision. What I didn't know, and if I had waited a minute to get some guidance, they were spinning up a CAS mission.
Oh.
So when I made the decision to take myself and my machine gunner down into that valley, it stalled that CAS mission because now they didn't know where everybody was. We had two friendlies who are now moving, and they didn't know. So, and when we dropped off, we lost comms.
Okay, so two bad things happened.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I delayed their ability to call CAS. Now we have multiple maneuvering elements, which is always bad.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky, like, what an idiot I was. I mean, we knew that there were fighting positions and caves riddled throughout this place.
Yeah.
It would have been so easy for us dropping into this valley to miss one of those things that a Taliban crew could have popped out and said, oh, I got these two idiots moving down and smoke checked us.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, thank God. By the time we got to the bottom, we got comms again, and my task force commander who was our executive officer. So Eric Christensen was our task force commander, killed in Red Wings. So the XO of our SEAL team flew out to take Eric's position. So he was the acting ground force commander. And he's screaming fire into the radio, get your fucking ass out of the valley. Like, we're trying to call a fire mission. And I was like, holy shit. Okay, roger that. And we scampered up the north wall of the valley.
So you bounced out as soon as you heard his voice.
Yeah. I knew, like, I messed up.
Oh, wow. And he was screaming it.
Oh, fire.
Oh, man.
So we climbed out, got to the north wall. They sent a 60 to pick us up to regroup with the guys. And then they ended up calling in the fire missions to support and pull these other guys out of the valley. I knew immediately I'd screwed up, but once again, pride. So by the time I relinked, he was like ripping into me. And instead of owning it at that point, and what I should have just said is, you're right, I screwed up. I didn't. I pushed back. There were some other missions that had occurred where an individual moved down to support guys. And I used that as an example. Like, hey, I did exactly what this guy did. Hey, not the same thing. Either way, the fact that I pushed back against it really, I think, was the
piss him off.
Yeah, was the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, all these things had added up. And when we were stuck, by the way, we were stuck out there for 3 days because we didn't have the extract.
So, because you weren't able to get out of there in time.
So for 3 days, we were above this, this large Taliban fighting position that was down in the valley. So we were just hitting it with airstrikes. And finally, even at one point, all the A-10s were empty. So they were just doing they were just buzzing to keep them down. So 3 days we were out there. We finally flew back. No one talked to me. Yeah, like I got the cold shoulder of all cold shoulders. Yeah. So by the time we got back to Kandahar, the XO was like, I'm flying you back to Bagram. You're going to go meet the commanding officer. Like, yeah, I want you out of here.
Oh, wow.
So I flew back to Bagram. And dude, you talk about rock bottom. I mean, to be told in our community that, that we don't trust you and you're dangerous, and to send you back to the rear from the front, like, is the biggest, like, bro, I was
humbling,
yes, although I still was, it hadn't sunk in yet. Like, I knew it messed up, but I was fighting against it. I was trying to justify it. I was playing the victim, is what I told people. Like, I'm the victim. Like, my chief doesn't like me, so he's using this against me. Like, hey, I ran to the sound of the guns, man. I went down in the valley to support the guys. Like, when is that ever wrong? So I was trying to justify it in my mind. I was trying to justify it to anybody would listen, and no one would listen. But I was the victim. Got back to Bagram, and my CO was like, hey, I'm not going to deal with this until the guys get back. I want to hear everything, so stand by. So I think a couple of days went by before they flew back. And that evening, I stood in front of them, and, my commanding officer, command master chief, executive officer acting as the ground force commander, my chief, all our senior leadership was there. And basically we're like, Redman has displayed continued bad decision-making. He's a drunk. He's an impulsive, dangerous leader. He put everybody's lives at risk in that valley. You should kick him out and take his Trident.
Damn, they were saying they wanted to take your Trident.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So the CO listened to everything. And here's like kind of an amazing thing. If you think about this, Red Wings had happened only a few months earlier. Yeah. And remember, I said none of us got to go home. And our commanding officer, who is a friend to this day and an amazing guy, because he saved my career, like, it would have been so easy to say, I don't want to deal with this. Like this, I guarantee that was the most emotional, impactful deployment. I mean, to be in command and lose all those guys was brutal. And
this is an 05 commander?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can only imagine, like, and everybody was pressuring him to, like, kick me out.
Yeah.
And it would have been the easiest thing for him to say, you know what, I don't have time to deal with this knucklehead.
Sure, I'll just sign off on it.
Yeah, you know what? Go home, Redman.
Yeah,
get out of the Navy. But he didn't. But I got to back up because that he said, I need a night to think about this. Come back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I'm going to let you know what my decision is.
God, that must have been a stressful night, man.
Well, that was the night I almost took my life. I won't lie. I went back to my room. I sat in the chair and I was like, my life is over. Tomorrow they are going to take my Trident. How did I get here? Like, I don't think I want to live if this happens. Like, I was ashamed and disgraced. Beside myself. And I remember
that's demoralizing.
I was sitting in my room and we have all our weapons. And I took out my gun and I put it in my mouth and I was going to just end it. And as I had it in my mouth, there was a picture of my kids, my wife and my kids. They were 2005. My son would have been 6. My youngest would have been 3, and my middle would have been 3, and my youngest would have been 1. And I hadn't been around them hardly at all, So, and like I feel it's God smacked me in the back of the head and was like, "What are you doing? Like, what message do you send to them if you take your life in Afghanistan? Like, what does your wife tell your kids?
Yeah,
So it was kind of a wake-up call. I was like, I need some help. So put my pistol away, went and sought out the Special Force chaplain and met with him, who happened to be if I remember correctly, how I remember this, I think he used to be a Green Beret and then became a chaplain. So, I mean, he was a seasoned dude, and he listened to everything. And then he goes, okay, so let me understand this correctly. Like, you messed up. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, and tomorrow they may kick you out. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, tomorrow. And I said, yeah. And he goes, tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. And he goes, tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm starting to feel like you're an idiot. Yeah. Anything? What are you trying to tell me here? What are you getting at, man? And he goes, but you were going to kill yourself tonight. He said, that seems a little premature, don't you think? And I was like, all right.
Damn.
Case in point.
Okay.
He said, you don't even know the outcome of what's going to happen. He said, God works in mysterious ways. He said, no matter what, tomorrow is the end. It's the end. It could be the end of your career, but it's the end of this part of your life. Because guess what? No matter what, tomorrow's a new beginning. It's either going to be a new beginning for you to go figure out how to be a better leader if they give you a second chance, or it's going to be a new beginning for a new path for you. But no matter what, that's what's happening tomorrow. So I went back and didn't sleep a wink. And the next day at 8 a.m., my commanding officer, who, like I said, I owe my career to this guy because I guarantee everyone was pressuring. He told me, I've hung out with him. I was literally just at his house a month ago in where he lives.
Yeah.
And he's told me, like, everybody was pressuring him to get rid of me. And
what was his reasoning why he didn't?
He had seen me do good things, and he believed that he believed everybody deserves a second chance. And he believed, because, he didn't just let me off. I mean, he put specific structure in place. So what happened was, he said, I'm not going to kick you out of the SEAL teams, but here's what's going to happen. He said, you guys have done a number of combat operations. You will receive no awards from this deployment. All awards are rescinded. He said, and he pulled out a piece of paper. He said, this is an official letter of reprimand. If this was to go in your officer record, your career would be over. He said, instead, this letter is going to go in my safe. I'm going to brief the oncoming commanding officer of what happened to you. He said, you're going to do another platoon as a second officer in charge. And he said, if you're not exemplary, which I know you have the ability to do, this record will come out of the safe and go on your record and end your career. And he said, and the last thing you're doing when you get home, you're going to U.S. Army Ranger School. He said, I think you need something to humble you and remind you of what it is to be a leader. He said, Ranger School is a leadership school. I think it'd be good for you.
Oh, wow.
So, and I'd love to tell you, I walked out of there going, I dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I still was kind of bitter. I mean, I was thankful, but I was bitter. I still kind of had the victim mindset. And so I'll just say it took quite a few months for it to sink in. And that's why I'm not even going to bring the name up. I'm just going to say we were talking about somebody that messed up earlier in the amount of heat that people are piling. I think sometimes when we mess up in life, even if it's a big mistake, it takes a while for us to own it and really peel the onion back from who we are and come to understand, like, I'm the one that caused this problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same case with that individual. I kind of feel that way.
Yeah.
And that was the same for me.
Yeah.
I needed kind of a while I came home.
You need to stew on it a little bit.
I had to stew on it. And it was with time. Although there was another rock bottom moment before I finally kind of came to grips with, you're the problem.